You know how sometimes you just want to get right to the core of something, cut through all the noise and really understand it quickly?
Yeah, without feeling like you're drowning in information.
Exactly. Well, that's what we aim for here. And today, we're diving into some really, really strange corners of the internet, places that are genuinely unsettling.
Definitely the kind of stuff that makes you, raise an eyebrow, maybe check your firewall settings afterwards.
Right. We're talking about this incredibly creepy indie horror game, a website maybe linked to assassinations.
Which sounds wild, I know.
Totally wild. And this bizarre YouTube channel that just churned out weirdness, plus a very secretive website that apparently got the FBI involved.
And we've really tried to sift through everything, gameplay footage, those endless Reddit threads, even like website source code and personal accounts.
Yeah, digging deep to pull out the most fascinating bits for you. Think of it as your shortcut into the internet's darker side.
A guided tour through the digital shadows, maybe?
I like that. So yeah, prepare yourselves. Gets a bit weird.
Dark.
Okay, let's kick off with Sad Satan.
Ah, Sad Satan. Okay.
This first really popped onto the radar via a YouTube channel, Obscure Horror Corner, back in June 2015. They uploaded 5 gameplay videos.
And that was kind of the world's first look at it.
Pretty much.
What struck people right away, I think, was how unconventional it was for a horror game. It wasn't really about, things jumping out at you.
Right, no cheap jump scares.
No, it was more about this deep sense of dread, claustrophobic hallways, this really disturbing audio design.
Yeah, the sound was key, wasn't it? Like warped screams, music played backwards, that really unnerving random laughter.
Exactly, just deeply unsettling. And then you had the visuals.
Oh yeah, these sudden black-white photos flashing up statues, which are kind of creepy anyway, but then mugshots of infamous criminals, these weird Latin phrases.
And the one that really got everyone talking, pictures of Jimmy Savile.
Which, knowing what we know now about Savile,
Absolutely. It adds this incredibly dark, disturbing layer that goes way beyond just like typical horror game stuff. It feels transgressive in a really unpleasant way.
definitely. And there were also those ghostly children.
Uh-huh. Pale, silent figures just appearing.
And that last video they uploaded, where one of them just follows you, relentlessly stalks the player right until it cuts out. Super creepy.
But that wasn't even the end of the Sad Satan story, was it?
No, not at all. That's when it took a much darker turn.
Right. Around early July, someone posts this supposed download link on 4chan.
But it wasn't the game from the videos.
Not even close. People who downloaded this version reported finding just extreme gore, mutilated bodies, illegal images, really horrifying stuff, and malware too.
Nasty stuff, like brick your computer malware.
Yeah. Now, the original channel owner, Jamie, completely denied this was their version.
Said they found the original game from a dark web link given by someone called ZK.
But here's the kicker.
The original game, the one of those first YouTube videos.
It's never been found, never recovered, vanished.
So was the first game just bait? A cover for something way worse?
It's the big unanswered question, isn't it? The fact that the original just disappeared leaves this really unsettling feeling. What was the point of it all? We're just left with video clips and these horror stories about the 4chan version.
It's pure digital folklore territory now.
Okay.
Let's shift gears from potential digital horror traps to something that feels more like a spy novel. Lake City Quiet Pills.
Okay, yeah. This one surfaced on Reddit, 2009?
Yeah, 2009. Started as just an image hosting site run by a guy known as Religion of Peace, or Milo.
Yeah.
He was apparently a moderator on our jailbait, so already a bit sketchy.
Right. But then things got weird really fast. July 17th, 2009, someone else calling themselves 26 takes over Milo's account.
And announces Milo's dead.
Which, naturally, kicked off a huge internet investigation. People started digging into the website itself, lakecityquietpills.com.
Trying to figure out what was going on. And that's when they looked at the source code.
Yeah, the code behind the website. And they found these hidden messages. Job postings? Sort of.
But not for, web developers.
Definitely not. They use the term wet work.
Chilling.
Yeah.
Which usually means, assassination.
Exactly. And they were weirdly specific. Things like immediate need 12 ESS. Spanish speaking, no papers required.
Or 4 for 247 DP. English speakers, Spanish fluency a plus. I mean, what does that even mean? It sounds like instructions for some kind of team.
It really does. Very specific requirements. But the really startling connection came later.
January 2010. Mahmoud al-Mahu, a Hamas guy, is assassinated in Dubai.
Yeah.
Big international incident, used fake passports, the whole deal.
And get this, on the exact day of the assassination, the source code for Lake City Quiet Pills mentioned a party.
A party?
Yeah, with a cost breakdown, $94,000 total, itemized for things like hotels, transportation, and medical support.
Oh, the timing, the wet work, the expenses.
Oh, yeah.
That's suggestive, to say the least.
Incredibly suggestive. Could this website have actually been a front, a communication hub for, like, mercenaries or some kind of clandestine group?
The theories went everywhere. Ex-military, rogue spies, who knows?
But then, sometime after 2010, the site just, poof, gone.
No explanation. Wiped off the map.
And that's the thing, you have all these breadcrumbs, these really intriguing, suspicious pieces, but no solid answers. It just makes you wonder what else is hidden out there online.
Seriously. Okay, next up, something completely different again. More like pure digital weirdness. The Unfavorable Semicircle YouTube channel.
Oh man, this one, yeah, it just appeared in 2015, out of the blue.
And the sheer volume of uploads was staggering.
Totally staggering. Tens of thousands of videos in less than a year. Some were just seconds long, others went on for hours.
And the content was just noise and patterns, abstract pixels, bursts of static.
Distorted voices reading what sounded like random letters and numbers. Total nonsense, seemingly.
And the upload rate was insane. Started at like every 10 minutes.
Yeah, and then it ramped up. Got to the point where it was uploading a new video every 20 seconds.
Just think about that. The sheer amount of data. By 2016, it had over 200,000 videos.
It's almost incomprehensible. People were throwing out all sorts of theories.
Like a modern numbers station,
Yeah.
you know, for spies.
Yeah, or maybe some kind of elaborate ARG, an alternate reality game, or even some bizarre psychological test.
But there were zero clues.
Yeah.
No explanation, nothing to grab onto.
That's what made it so baffling, just this massive, inexplicable flood of strangeness.
And then, just as weirdly as it started.
It stopped, February 2016. And this is wild. It was literally hours after the BBC ran a story about the channel.
Seriously, hours after the BBC report.
Yep. Shut down, gone. No warning, no farewell, just
Yeah.
delete it.
Wow. It really shows how transient things can be online. Something can be this huge point of fascination and then just evaporate.
Leaving absolutely nothing behind but questions.
Okay, finally, let's talk about maybe the oldest one on our list, and arguably the most ominous, Mortis.com.
Right. Registered way back in 1997. Very early days of the web, relatively speaking.
And what was it? Just a black page with a login box?
That's it. Stark. Empty. No clues, no instructions, just log in.
But the rumors were that behind that login screen were terabytes of encrypted files.
Which, for the late 90s, terabytes, that was an absolutely colossal amount of data. Almost unbelievable for personal storage back then.
Definitely raises questions about who or what needed that kind of capacity. And the name itself, Mortis.
Latin for death. Doesn't exactly scream family photos, does it?
Not really, no. And it was apparently linked to other weird, dark-sounding domains too, like cthulhu.net, eternalnight.com. Gives off a certain vibe.
A very specific, unsettling vibe. Things supposedly got more serious when hackers tried to get in, and the FBI allegedly got involved.
Yeah, that's where the stories get really creepy. These anecdotal reports from forums. People claiming they briefly got access, saw weird files with cryptic names.
And then those people would just disappear from the forums,
Yeah.
or go completely silent online.
Exactly. Which is, unsettling.
What's also really interesting is that the site seems to have been deliberately kept off things like the Wayback Machine.
So no easy way to archive it or see what it actually looked like beyond that login screen. Very little public record exists.
It fuels the speculation, of course.
And the theories are pretty dark. Could it have been super secure storage for someone important? Or maybe an illegal marketplace? People whispered about trafficking even? Even darker stuff like snuff films?
But it's absolutely crucial to stress these are theories. There's no concrete proof. It's the unknown combined with the ominous name and the weird circumstances that makes it so enduringly creepy.
It lives in that realm of internet legend and, frankly, fear.
Precisely.
So yeah, that's just 4 examples. A quick trip through some of the internet's stranger back alleys. It really shows there's more out there than just, social media and news sites.
Absolutely. And what fascinates me is how these mysteries last. Years after they appear, years after they often disappear, people are still talking about them, still trying to figure them out.
The creators might be long gone, but the questions just linger, don't they?
They really do. It's like the mystery itself takes on a life of its own.
Makes you think, though. Why do some of these things remain unsolved? Is there a reason? And what does it say about the internet that these hidden potentially sinister pockets can just exist.
Yeah, it speaks to the sheer vastness and the hidden depths of it all. Maybe there's a line somewhere between curiosity and stumbling into something you really don't want to see.
A thought to maybe ponder next time you're clicking down a rabbit hole online.